Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. So the massive gentleman that you guys are looking at right now will be Akim Williams. He actually posted this up on his story recently. Now, Akim is about 4 weeks out from the Tampa Pro, so we're going to assume this is recent. It's possible that it isn't because Akim does post old pictures a lot. But this guy looks incredible, man. And even since I first got in the sport, I never really knew why people didn't talk about Akim Williams. Incredible physique. This guy could definitely be Mr. Olympia. But as I know, and I'm sure you guys know, he's never really able to come in condition from behind for some reason. But if this is recent of Akim, anyone doing that Texas Pro is going to have a hard time qualifying for the Mr. Olympia. Now, Akim is working with Justin Miller, the former coach of George Peterson. May he rest in peace. Hopefully, we see the best Akim to date in Tampa. And hopefully Akim can finally nail it at the Mr. Olympia. I believe his Puerto Rico showing last year was better than the package that he actually brought to the Mr. Olympia stage. And speaking of the Tampa Pro, we actually have more updates from Quinton Eriya. And these are the best updates we've seen from Quinton so far. One thing I really knocked him for is just he doesn't really have the muscle maturity in the upper body. But as you guys can see here, the deeper he gets into prep, the upper body is looking very, very vascular, matching the quads. And that's something I really want to see from Quinton. And if you guys don't follow him on Instagram at QuintBeastwood, you definitely should. This guy has the right mindset for bodybuilding. And when you have the physique, you can train, you can eat. Having the mindset is so important. And I thought I'd also share this. This is Ricky Moulton. He pretty much trains with Quint every day. And he will also be competing in the Tampa Pro in the 212 division. I thought this guy was a classic guy just because how small his waist is. But he will be doing 212. And I'm excited to see him, man. Incredible genetics. Look at the arms on this guy, man. And in the next update of the day, this is the latest from Hunter Labrada. Hunter looks great, man. And I want to talk about, can Hunter win the Mr. Olympia? I've been seeing a couple of people talk about, can he win the Mr. Olympia? Breaking down how Hunter can possibly win the Mr. Olympia. Now, Hunter placed 4th at last year's Mr. Olympia. I think that it was arguable on that day. I think Hunter Labrada is capable of beating Nick Walker. But that day on the Mr. Olympia, Hunter was very, very watery. Going into this year's Mr. Olympia, Hunter is definitely a threat. The only two knocks I see him having is higher lats and a pec tear, and the judges don't seem to care about either one. Hunter is an incredible bodybuilder, but he was just a little watery at last year's Mr. Olympia. Maybe a lot bit watery, but incredible bodybuilder, man. Hunter is great. He gets a little bit more hate than what he should, but it isn't his fault he placed 4th, guys. He just showed up. The judges placed him in 4th. And in the next update of the day, this is the latest from Brett Wilkin, who recently did a guest posing. Now, Brett, I love that you come out and you want to hit different poses that a lot of bodybuilders don't hit. But you have to work on the posing, man. You have to work on the execution of these poses and how to properly present the physique. Now on to Brett's physique. The quads look absolutely incredible, man. And Brett was very hyped up going into this Arnold Classic. A lot of people had him beating Brandon Curry. And as I've said numerous times, I believe the hype of Brett Wilkin and James Hollingshead was just because people were seeing how well Nick Walker was doing. James and Brett are incredible bodybuilders. Just think they were a bit overhyped. Brett's main knock is going to be that he is very narrow as a bodybuilder. But Brett, just keep working, man. I like this guy's physique, and I think he can move up. And in the next update of the day, this is the latest from Charles Griffin. He was also at the guest posing with Brett Wilkin. Charles looks incredible here. This was probably prior to the guest posing. The only thing I can say about Charles here probably needs to bring the chest up a little bit. But once again, Charles is in the offseason. He isn't pumped up. But guys with incredible arms usually, have weaker chests. And this was from the guest posing. I think it's worth mentioning that Charles actually proposed to his girlfriend. And I think that hyped him up to come out and guest pose. I don't think Charles was actually on the list to guest pose. But Charles looks incredible. And as you guys should know by now, Charles is one of the guys I am the most excited to see at this year's Mr. Olympia. Hoping he can crack top 8, maybe higher. Now, the next update of the day, this is the latest from Derek Lonsford. Incredible, man. The question is going around, is Derek going to go up to Open this year? And just my personal opinion, Derek will have to qualify by winning a show and then doing the Olympia. Not saying that he can't do it, but I personally think him and Honey are probably just going to do 212 this year. Get another title and then go up to Open. Why risk peaking Derek twice? But who knows, guys? It's just my opinion. He could do a show and end up at the Open Mr. Olympia. Now, I did want to share this with you guys. This is a couple days old. But AJ Sims posted this up of her son just to show how conditioned he was for the Orlando show. And we have to give Hassan his praise, man. He did about 6 or 7 shows last year. Honestly, never brought the best conditioning to either of those shows. His best version was probably earlier in the year in New York. And honestly, I think Hassan kind of got a little bit worse as the year went on. But Hassan has 2 pro wins now and looking to get a 3rd one at this Arnold Classic UK. Now, while I was posting this video up, this was actually posted up by Brazil Bodybuilding News on Instagram, I believe. Rafael Brandão in the offseason. And we're probably never going to see Rafa get too big in the offseason just because he's a guy that wants to put on the side slowly to keep his lines. You know, his lines and his aesthetics are his strong suit, so you definitely want to keep that. And Rafa is another guy along with Charles Griffin and Samson Dowda. Those guys are kind of my big 3 to shake some things up at this year's Mr. Olympia. You know, hopefully one of them end up in the top 8. Now, the next update of the day, this was Petar Klancir at 1 day out from the Portugal Pro. If you guys some reason haven't seen my last video, Petar placed 3rd. Incredible physique, and honestly, once he walked out, he looked like the winner. But just once he got compared to some other guys, it just revealed some structural issues. But I really like this guy's physique, and he was definitely improved from Cali. Now, the next update of the day, I don't think I've ever talked about this guy before. This is Nathan Epler. He placed 2nd to Antonio Burton last year at the Indy Pro in the 212 division, won the New York Pro, went into the Mr. Olympia, and took 5th place in 212. Now, he did say he was going up to Open, but I'm not sure if he's going to do it this year. But he will be competing at the Tampa Pro, possibly 212, possibly Open. The way he's looking right now, I'm going to lean towards 212. Now, in the next update of the day, one of my favorite guys in the 212, Ahmed ElSadhani. Now, Ahmed will be doing the Texas Pro. And should Keon Pearson be on watch? Do you guys think a physique like this could surprise and knock off a guy like Keon Pearson? Now, being honest, Ahmed has brought up his upper body a lot, but the legs are starting to look a bit small. He could definitely bring the legs up, and I would like to see a little bit more glute. But other than that, this guy looks incredible, man. Shoulders, arms, chest, quads are good, but just need to be a little bit bigger to match the crazy upper body. Now, with him being 4 weeks out from Texas, I would expect him to be a bit more conditioned, but hopefully he's going to be able to bring an incredible package. And I think this is going to be a round 2 between Ahmed and Keon Pearson. And as always, I've seen little to no one talk about this guy still, but watch after Chicago Pro, there's going to be a lot of videos coming out by a lot of different people. Like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And we've been talking about this guy for a while at Go Fitness. And ending this video here with Chen Kang, who is 1 week out from the Vancouver Pro. As I told you guys in the last news video, Chen does have his Canadian visa, and he will be looking to qualify for the Olympia in the Classic Physique division. Now, I don't think this guy's competed since 2019, but he did come in 5th. But just in the past 3 years, the Classic Physique division has evolved a lot. However, he does seem to have the conditioning, incredible vacuum, and he also has those huge quads that this division seems to favor. But once again, the division has changed a lot. We have a lot of good guys in this division. Chen Kang, not really sure how he's going to stack up, but after next week's Vancouver Pro, we probably do some comparisons. As always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness. I'm out.